What's up? I just wanted to step in. I just wanted to share something real quick. Now, I grew up with a pretty abusive parent. My parent wasn't necessarily Joe Jackson, but I grew up with a parent who was usually, lashed out in anger. And I was the oldest, and my mom my mom had really bad odds with my dad. And because I looked like a spitting image of my dad, usually the frustration of us just being a single parent, poor, oppression, usually just, I think that trauma and that frustration, maybe even regret, it was often took out on me. One thing I wanted to say is this, because I'm proud of the steps my mom has took, right? And I don't want to make this about my mom, but I think in the process, parents can, and through trauma, can be so frustrated that they take their anger out on their children, physically or verbally. And with that being said, one thing I want to say is this, if you are a parent who often you lose their temper or get angry or get frustrated, I just want you to know, as much as you can take your anger out on your children, and you might say, you know what, I'm turning a leaf, I'm trying to be better. Just know that even if you have lost your temper or feel like you have abused your children, there's grace for you, there's love for you, because God can use your heart and your transformation to bless your children. God can make the worst things in our life that ever happened better than if they never did. I love my mom. I know she made great mistakes. My father made great mistakes in my life. I don't have bitterness towards them because I know God has blessed me richly and greatly beyond my ability, beyond what I deserve. And I know God is my true parent and has taken up for me. There's a scripture that says, Jehovah, if my mother and my father forsake me, Jehovah will take up for me and teach me thy ways. And so I know God has been my teacher and my lover and has kept me. But know that if you have hurt someone in this world, it doesn't matter if you're even a parent, the Spirit of God is willing and waiting, because he's the Spirit of reconciliation. So he's there willing and waiting. There's a scripture that says, when you bring your gift to the altar, but you have something against your brother, leave your gift at the altar and go make it right with your brother. And someone once said this to me. The reason why is because God would rather God is so merciful. He would rather you treat someone else better than treat him. He would rather you be bad at loving him and be better at loving other people and then be better, because God's heart is so love that God would rather you love other people better than you love him. God is always people go, why do I need to give money at church, and why do I give you? God don't need your money. He don't need nothing from you. It's just what he wants. He don't need anything. And so if there's God is a spirit of reconciliation. So if there's anyone, don't got to be parents, children, maybe you got a cousin or a sister, maybe somebody in your life, I encourage you, reach out to them. See if the winds of heaven don't blow into your life to reconcile with that person and make it right. One thing I said is this, to a few parents: even though you've messed up, you still have so much power, so much weight of vacuum to make it right. To make it right. You're going to be their parent for the rest of your life, for the rest of their life. I encourage you, whatever you can do to make it right, your words have so much power in the life of your children. Maybe their children aren't yours. Maybe it's the kids that live across the street. Maybe it's the kids that play with your kids. Or, maybe it's the kids you feed. Even as an adult, you have the authority and so much power to speak life into people's lives. So I wanted you to know that. If there's someone in this world that's holding on, need a parent, God may have chosen you to be a spiritual pillar, a spiritual parent, a shadow of a parent in their life. It don't mean that you have to sign the adoption papers. It don't mean that you have to be this official foster care. It just means that you see them, you cover them, you pray for them, and you walk out faith and love over them and protecting them. So that's one thing I want to share. But two, if there's someone in your life that is a scenario that is broken with someone, I encourage you, make it right, and see if God doesn't bring blessing and breakthrough in your life on their behalf. And then two, if there's someone that you have abused or someone going through abuse, I would encourage you to ask for amends, ask for forgiveness but know that your words towards the people that you hurt still has value, And even if they don't receive you, even if they don't forgive you, even if they're bitter forever, know that you are doing your best to make it right. The Bible don't say that when you leave your gift at the altar, the person you try to go make it right with is going to forgive you. The Bible don't say that. All it says is you did your best to make it right with them, and by doing so, you are now right with God.